Welcome to Wise Beyond Bitcoin, where you come for your NEO news, education, and opportunities. I'll be your host today, Jacob. And today we're going to be talking about quite a few different things. Not really anything big or major today. We're just going to be talking a little bit about the markets and some of my personal strategies to do whenever I experience volatility in my portfolio. And this is something that you can maybe learn from. And so today we're going to be talking about a little bit about the markets and how they've been taking a little bit of a downturn. So if you see here on the 7-day chart, we've got quite a few different top 100 cryptocurrencies that all took a big hit. And we've seen that within the price action of these past couple weeks too. We see that in the price of Ethereum and Bitcoin, especially when we take a look at what's going on here. And if we look at that 30-day chart, it's just been downhill ever since. But I don't necessarily think that price action has to do with everything. And I think it's about strategies that you have. So one of the strategies that I like to take is diversifying my portfolio. Now, we talk about news, education, and opportunity, but none of this is financial advice. So if you're looking for that, please seek out a financial advisor. These are just things that I use, opportunities and things that I take part in with my portfolio. And so one of the things that I like to do whenever I start to notice a downturn in the market is I like to make sure that I have a bag of stable coins, which are coins that are pegged to the US dollar in most cases. Most cases. They're pegged to a national currency of some sort. And as long as that peg is held, let's say like with Tether, it equals $1. And sometimes you'll see that the peg might be a little high or a little low. You'll see Tether kind of fluctuate around the 90 to dollar penny range, but for the most part, it's pegged to $1. Now, today we're going to be talking about the opportunities that you can find across different networks using yield farming, which is a strategy that I think a lot of people in the crypto space kind of sleep on because some of us just kind of go for the hot new NFT or this or that, and we tend to forget about DeFi 1.0, which was liquidity providing, staking tokens. This was the base layer of what allowed for these new technologies to be built on. And so when Uniswap came out and you could swap between tokens on a decentralized exchange, that was massive, massive, massive. But one of the things I'd like to really touch on today is just the opportunities that you can have to earn yield while maintaining the amount of money that you initially invest. So if I put in, say, $1,300 into UST and USDT paired on the DFYN exchange right here, I'd be making 14% APR, which honestly is massive. Compare that to the what your bank account earns less than a percentage in APR. This is something that can generate you income over time as a high interest savings. Think of it as a high interest savings account, right? You lock up your money. You don't technically lock it up, but you give up your tokens, you deposit it here in the contract, and that liquidity is earning you the DFYN token. So typically what ends up happening is you'll take your tokens, you'll pair them together, and as long as the pair stays pegged to the same price, then you're experiencing no impermanent loss. And with stable coins, whenever you have a stable coin pair, you don't experience impermanent loss between those two tokens. It's a slept on strategy, in my opinion, that I think more people should look into doing with their portfolio. This is just one example from DFYN, and you can look through some of their other farms too. There are other opportunities outside of just stablecoin yield farming. Me personally, I think stablecoin yield farming is something that is really slept on. Sure, I could make 189% APR in between two tokens, but I'm taking more of a risk with that higher APR. Whereas with my stablecoin pair, I'm just kind of relaxing while my money works for me. We're going to be talking a little bit about some of the other opportunities. Now, DFYN is an opportunity on the Matic network. It is an exchange there where you can really use the Matic mainnet and interact with it on the Matic interface. But Kako Swap, if I'm saying that right, is a Shiden based DEX. And Shiden and A-Star is something that we've talked about before on Wise Beyond Bitcoin. I won't get too much into what Shiden and A-Star are, but they're a layer one blockchain, much like Ethereum, much like Matic. And this exchange is interesting. They actually have a stablecoin that's not pegged to the US dollar, but rather the Japanese yen. And that's really interesting and new, in my opinion, that they have an economic, they're looking at global and macroeconomics rather than the economics of just the US, which I think is great. Personally, I wish that there were more stable coins of different cryptocurrencies. I wish there was a popular Euro stablecoin. I wish that there was a popular stablecoin for all kinds of different crypto or all kinds of different national currencies, and having that pegged to them. It's super interesting seeing that you could peg basically Japanese yen with the US dollar and be earning 9% APR. It's definitely changing times that we're living in within this crypto space. And we're starting to see that the United States markets aren't really the only markets that are affecting this crypto space. Another great example on the Harmony network is OpenSwap, which has a ton of opportunities all across the board. You'll just see so many different pairs at varying APRs. But since today we're really talking about stablecoins, I'd really like to highlight some of the opportunities that are had with these, like EUSDC and BUSDC earning 9% APR. And understand that 8, 9, 10%, that's a lot more than you would see in any traditional market for providing liquidity or locking up your funds for a period of time. And understand that these, when you provide liquidity, you're just providing your tokens to the smart contract that you can claim at any time. If you provide liquidity and you want to take that liquidity back, you can do that at any time. And so it's a great strategy to have some of your stable coins working for you while you wait for opportunities in the market, like this dip that we see in the market, and be able to buy into the tokens that you personally want to buy into, or the ones that you find valuable. Another great one that I'd like to cover is Spirit Swap, which is on the Phantom network. Now, Spirit Swap is pretty interesting itself. You can do a lot other than just farming. You know, you could see here on the left-hand side. So I'll let you go ahead and check that out on your own. But yeah, you can see through here that a lot of the times they'll actually pair a stablecoin with the main token, let's say like Ethereum or any layer one blockchain, which is, in my opinion, a great way to be able to expose yourself to liquidity providing between different assets without having to feel impermanent loss. My goal as a liquidity provider is to avoid impermanent loss as much as I can. Impermanent loss is just when the token price between two tokens fluctuates and you lose money in it doing so. So if USDC is pegged here, then really all you have to worry about is the price of Phantom. And if you have two stable coins, well, they're not moving. So you're just generating income, which typically is why you'll see a lower percent APR. If you go down to the bottom here, there's actually, where is it? There it is, DAI and USDC, you'll see has an 11% APR compared to the Phantom pair that we've seen that had nearly 60%. And the big reason for that is just the amount of risk. Obviously, you'll see with newer farms, these higher APYs for stablecoin liquidity providing, and especially so if you see that it has a low amount of liquidity. So be on the lookout for some of those farms. Definitely keep an eye out on Twitter and stay engaged. You know, it's definitely something that's important to do in this space, is to keep staying engaged. And even when the market takes a downturn, stay engaged, because there's always opportunities within this market. Now, I hope you guys love this video. I hope you guys stay engaged with us here at Wise Beyond Bitcoin. Until the next time, namaste.